Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about LA, Trump, and the National Guard deployment. Okay, so you've probably heard at least a little about what's going on in Los Angeles. We'll run through the events. Then we'll talk about what's driving this, and then go over some misinformation that circulated last night. Shortly after taking office, Trump started his immigration policy. It's been plagued by issues, but the administration seems intent on continuing under the current template. On Saturday, demonstrations occurred at a few locations in Los Angeles. The demonstrations were spurred by a series of arrests the previous day. Demonstrations escalated in the city of Paramount, which is near Compton in LA County. Rocks were thrown. Riot police were called out. As is becoming the norm, the law enforcement crackdown caused the demonstrations to spread, and it spilled over into Compton. Trump took the protests as an opportunity to change the narrative and signed a memo federalizing and deploying a couple thousand National Guard troops. The governor of California, Gavin Newsom, posted to social media, quote, "The federal government is moving to take over the California National Guard and deploy 2,000 soldiers. That move is purposefully inflammatory and will only escalate tensions. LA authorities are able to access law enforcement assistance at a moment's notice. We are in close coordination with the city and county, and there is currently no unmet need. The Guard has been admirably serving LA throughout recovery. This is the wrong mission and will erode public trust." That message contains a lot of important parts. First, it seems like the governor did not sign off, which will probably be the subject of a legal battle later. It also says that law enforcement is functioning, which will also be important in legal battles later. The social media post almost seems like it was drafted or at least revised by a lawyer to create a record. Now, from the people we know in LA, the protests had calmed down long before the arrival of the National Guard. In fact, at 3 a.m., hours after Trump posted, "A job well done to the National Guard," we didn't have any report of them being on the ground. CBS and BBC couldn't confirm their presence either. But the expectation is that the administration will keep the call-up going for optics. It honestly appears like the call-up was either a massive emotional overreaction or a cynical attempt to draw attention away from the veterans protesting him in D.C. Okay, so let's start with this. Did Trump declare martial law? No, a National Guard call-up is not martial law. It was wildly unnecessary, but it was not martial law. Throwing around that term is dangerous and is getting people used to the idea. It's worth noting that even under Trump, with this ridiculous call-up, the National Guard's orders are limiting them to a support role, which lends more support to the idea that this is an attempt to change the story from Trump's recent failures, the pushback, and of course his breakup. Can Trump issue a call-up the way he did? I'm guessing that's going to be a legal question in the future. The president can call up the National Guard, and under certain circumstances, he can do it without the governor. But even using the most generous definitions, the protests don't really seem to cut it legally. They didn't interrupt normal law enforcement functions, according to the governor. I'd expect this to go to court and maybe even make its way to the Supreme Court pretty quickly. We'll keep you updated as this progresses. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.